So this was posted the other day, and it got a lot of Bengals fans going crazy. Like, does this mean that Zeke is coming to Cincinnati? And this is what the clip was. It was Zeke hanging out with Jamar Chase over there in Texas, and actually one of their trainers doing a little silly dance. But the question was, does that mean Zeke is going and coming to Cincy? The answer to that question from this video is no. That's not what this really was. Zeke and Jamar Chase have the same agent. So it's not really surprising that, first off, they could be friends. Second off, they would be working out together in the offseason. Or third off, they could just be in the same area because they have the same agent. I'm sure they're cool, and I'm sure they're, friendly with each other. But this does not just confirm 1,000% yes, Cincinnati is going to be signing Zeke. The thing that confirms them signing Zeke, because I do believe they're going to sign Zeke 1,000%, is the whole situation with Joe Mixon. And, I feel like every single time I talk about Joe Mixon, it's right after he did something, accused of something that has not been confirmed if he did it or not. Nothing is confirming he did anything. But you guys saw in my video recently, Joe Mixon was brought back up because of the fact that the person who filed charges on him back in February refiled the charges because they have more evidence against Joe Mixon. The story goes that there was some road rage when he was driving. He got out of the car when he was driving, pulled out a water gun, take away the water pot, aimed it at a woman, said that I'm a football player, so I can't get in trouble for this, and pretty much screamed at her, got back in his car, and drove off. That was the alleged statement, the alleged thing that happened. Again, nothing is confirming that happened, but there was charges that were dropped because there wasn't enough evidence, and then refiled to further go into that. Then you had the incident at his house where a kid was struck by a ricocheted bullet, where somebody at his house shot 8 times. Apparently, he was not home. He was not charged or anything. The cop that was on the case got fired. Oh no, he got demoted to being a patrol officer because he mishandled the whole situation. There's so many red flags that's problems right now with Joe Mixon, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better anytime soon. Like, trust me, I would love to be able to sit here and tell you Joe Mixon everything is good and he's the Bengals running back, but that simply is not the case. There is a bunch of problems. So with those problems being said, I think every single time we talk about Joe Mixon in this negative light, or there's talks about him, it increases the likelihood of Zeke going to the Bengals. Thing is, though, I believe they're not going to pursue Zeke until after the draft, okay? Right now, they are very committed to working and making sure this draft goes perfect. This draft is really, honestly, because in my opinion, they know they can go win the Super Bowl next year. This roster right now can go win a Lombardi. But if this draft is perfect and it gets the correct pieces, they can go win 2, 3, 4, 5. They know that. So they're focused more on this draft than they are than they are anything else. After this draft, they can re-sign Eli Apple or Trey Flowers if they want to. They can also go sign Zeke Elliott. They can cut Joe Mixon post June 1st and save some money. So I think what they do is they're going to do this draft, right? If there's running backs they end up getting in this draft, let's say a couple of guys they really like, then they'll cut Joe Mixon after this draft, go sign Zeke Elliott, and move on with their lives. Because right now, if they cut Zeke Elliott right now, if they cut Joe Mixon right now, it would save them $7 million, 7.2, and they would be dead money 5.5, which means they would, theoretically speaking then, be saving, 1.7 million. right now if they were to cut him. They cut him post June 1st, they save around $7.5 million. So there's really no reason right now to cut him. You're not going to trade the guy. The guy has so many legal problems right now against him. You're not even going to touch that in any way possible. So at this moment in time, everyone's like, oh, well, cut Joe Mixon, cut Joe Mixon. There's no reason to. And right now, they're focused on the draft. They'll also focus on Joe Burrow's contract and T. Higgins' extension. So there's no real reason to even, cut Joe Mixon at this moment in time. Sign Zeke, because why would you sign Zeke right now when you know you can sign him later? He'll still be available later. And you need the salary cap you have right now at this moment in time, $16 million. You need that money to work on both Joe's contract and T's. So there's really no reason at all to sign Joe Mixon. Cut Joe Mixon or do anything with Joe or sign Zeke Elliott. I truly believe after June 1st, I'm going to be making a video on this channel talking about how Joe Mixon got cut and they went ahead and signed Zeke Elliott. Now, based on what I hear, okay, this is just rumors. Keep in mind, everything I'm about to say, take with a grain of salt. I've heard rumors that they wanted to do something with an Austin Eckler trade, including Joe Mixon. But after the recent refiling of charges and him having to go to court on April 16th, some of those things fell through. That's just rumors I've heard. They might be completely incorrect. But if that was the case, because keep in mind, obviously right now his trade value is dog water because of the recent allegations and the whole situation going on. They could have traded him, saved literally saved 1.6. Is it the same they trade or cut him? I think it is. Yeah, it's the same exact. They would have traded him, saved 1.6 million, got Austin Eckler, and they would have to work out a contract with him. But those are just rumors I've been hearing, that there was a Joe Mixon trade on the table they thought about. But with the recent allegations, it kills his trade value. You can't trade a guy who's about to go to court. You can, but I don't know if the Bengals have the Las Vegas Raiders number. Come on, man. You got to make that joke. That's that's the age-old joke. But no, on a real note, though, yeah. So it is what it is. I think Zeke Elliott will be a part of this roster, but everything comes in time. You also need $8 million for the draft. So the draft players, you need $8 million set aside in cap room. Then you also got to keep in mind, again, like I said before, the Joe Mixon, T. Higgins. Now, keep in mind, I do not believe Zeke Elliott will cost that much. I know there are some people who think Zeke is still going to get a bag, still going to get a 3-year contract. I think if him coming to Cincinnati is him ring chasing. I think he signs a 2-year contract, very much incentive based, $3 million a year, up to $5 million for incentives, and that is really what he gets. I don't expect him to get that much money. So could they work him out with the current contract they have, like current salary cap now? Yes. It's just not worth it. There's no point to. It's kind of like Eli Apple and Trey Flowers. There's no real point to try to go after, try to re-sign those guys when they're available after the draft. And once you see how the roster looks after the draft, then you know what positions you want to focus on, what positions you don't want to focus on. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.